Hey, Viking fans, this is Keith Millard, and you are listening to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. Go Vikes!
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. I am One Bar, and the NFL with a flurry of cuts, a lot of big names being dropped, meaning a lot of players will be changing teams, and hopefully some of those players end up on the Minnesota Vikings. We know the Vikings still have some gaps to fill, and Zimmer has not been shy about saying he is going to be checking out that waiver wire up and down. So we're going to go over five players I think the Vikings could possibly be looking at bringing in today, 24 hours after yesterday. So 3 o'clock today is when we'll start seeing some of those names, practice squad, start to fill up. Very exciting stuff. Let's do this. Before we get into that, subscribe to the channel, like the video, here every damn day talking Vikings. Hashtag 4,000 in the comments for a chance to win a Vikings jersey of your choice when we hit 4,000 subs. So make sure to sub and hashtag 4,000. So let's do this. I mean, there's a lot of players, a lot of big names that got cut, but I'm going to kind of keep it mildly realistic. But let's hop into it. First off, number one, yes, I am starting at the quarterback position. I am going with Will the Thrill Grier from the Carolina Panthers. And the Vikings were definitely sniffing around this guy back in the draft in 2019. He was linked to the Vikings pretty heavily. I think if he would have lasted till round 4, Vikings might have snapped him up, but Panthers took him in round 3. He's been with Carolina his entire career. He's 26 years old. Like I said, former third rounder in 2019. Hasn't really had much of a chance in Carolina. He comes to Carolina where they got Cam Newton. I think the thought was that maybe Will Grier could be the heir apparent. Anyways, they end up bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. Then they end up bringing Sam Darnold into the mix. PJ Walker ends up beating him out for that backup spot. So Will Grier, still only 26. He's got backup quarterback written all over him. He actually had a damn good preseason. You look at his numbers and look at some of the plays that he had out there. He played pretty damn good. Looking back, some Carolina Panthers, just looking on Twitter, they were pretty surprised by this move. A lot of fans were thinking that he might have actually outplayed Walker. Walker, very, very exciting guy, so it makes sense. But Will Grier could come in and be that buffer backup quarterback and probably be one of the better backup quarterbacks that we've had, opposed to a Sean Mannion, a Trevor Siemian. And then Kellen Mond can just kind of hang loose there. Will Grier, athletic quarterback, smart quarterback. It seems that he's not afraid to make a ballsy move that can actually end up backfiring on him. But I think he would be an ideal backup quarterback. I do think the Vikings will be looking at some backup quarterbacks out there, and Will Grier might be one they have their eyes on. Next up, offensive lineman from the same division, Mr. Tyrell Crosby from Oregon. He can play right tackle. He can play left tackle. 25 years old. He's got a lot of experience. This is one of the more surprising cuts that you see out there that was made. A lot of people didn't even think he was on the bubble. He did get released with an injury designation, but he played in the final preseason game. So something tells me he's probably okay, but a physical would be very telling as far as where Tyrol Crosby ends up. Why do I like him? Look, we got Blake Brandel right now. While I love Blake Brandel to come out and be dominant and be beautiful and give us the warm and fuzzies as a backup offensive lineman, he does not give that whatsoever. Crosby, he would be a guy that would just be a depth move. He's kind of got Rashad Hill written all over him. I mean, he's from the NFC North. He's about 25 when Rashad Hill came over. He can play right side, he can play left side, and just as a cushion as a backup, knowing he is there. And we know we need depth along this offensive line, and we know we love those guys that can play multiple positions. I mean, look at our backups right now. It seems like every one of our offensive linemen can play different positions. Tyrell Crosby fits the mold. He's young and could be a backup for years to come for the Vikings. So Crosby, I think, will be highly sought after as far as teams looking for offensive line depth. This guy isn't on my list, but I'm going to say him anyways. Michael Jordan from the Bengals, former 4th round pick, I think, only a couple years ago, has not played very well in Cincinnati, but he was a guy from Ohio State that I wanted damn bad. We know the Vikings love those Ohio State offensive linemen. So anyways, moving on. Number 3, another guy in our division, Daz freaking Newsome. The Bears released him, 6th round pick. Again, another one that was kind of surprising. Our wide receiver depth, while some guys are very excited about the KJ Osborne, Smith Marset, it's probably still not the depth you really want. We'll see, but I could see them looking at receivers, bringing them in. Daz Newsome, speedy slot guy. He's a punt returner. I think one of the reasons he did get cut, he did have that broken collarbone that probably didn't help his chances. But he's a guy, he's a project, and why not throw him on the bottom of your depth chart? I mean, we have Dan Chisena there right now. That's all I'm going to say. Daz Newsome, I would welcome you with open arms. I wanted him in the draft. I needed him in the draft. We did not get him. But again, speedy guy, can play special teams, would be a very nice addition to the Vikings. Next up, and some people will probably cringe at this one, but Clinton Dix. He's only 28 years old. Is this just me, or does this seem like this guy has been in the league since the mid-'80s? He's only 28 years old. 49ers, let him go. Why do I want Clinton Dix before you also just leave this video? Experience. He's not going to come in and play a lot. He is there basically if one of our guys get hurt. Would you rather have Clinton Dix out there, or would you rather have Josh Metellus? It's easy. Clinton Dix. I mean, he's only out there if there's an injury. He's got a ton of experience. He's kind of, again, he's a one-year buffer. He's a George Iloka of the last couple of years, where he's there if you need him. Adds good depth. We know that he's a ball hawk. He's got 16 career interceptions, 90 games started, like I said. So that's it. He'd be cheap, and he could be a one-year guy until we figure out some depth at safety, because clearly we have not figured that out yet. Final, and this will be no surprise, is Michael Badgley and Nick Folk, kickers. I'm pairing these up in two. Nick Folk, we know what he's got. He was 26 out of 28 last year for the Patriots. We would have killed for something like that. Patriots ended up going with the young guy. That's great. He's out here, and I think Nick Folk will be a guy that teams will be really jumping all over anyway. Because, I mean, look at the Lions; they don't have a single kicker. So we will see Badgley 3 seasons with the Chargers. He's 80% field goal attempts in his career, 95% extra points. And he's got a boot on him, 59-yarder along as a rookie. So he's kind of tallied off last year. Didn't have the best year, but we know Greg Joseph can be upgraded on. We know that this guy would be an improvement. He's young, and he's got some experience. So there's going to be a lot of kickers that they're looking at, I'm sure. Zane Gonzalez, I can't remember some of these other guys who were released, but those are my guys. Those are guys that fill a position. Those are guys that make sense. Let me know in the comments, who do you want to see the Vikings bring in? Again, there's other guys. John Brown of the Raiders, a receiver that got cut. Kiki Kute from the Texans got cut. There's a lot of guys. Travis Fulgham from the Eagles, another guy that would be exciting to bring in. But those are my 5. Let me know in the comments who you want, and hashtag 4,000. There's gonna be some good news coming later on today when we start seeing that practice squad filled up. So a lot of Vikings action. Subscribe, come back. We'll be talking Vikings soon.